it's okay. You know what? Yeah, you don't have to like her. Or maybe it's just cool to just out loud say that she sucks, but then secretly you're bumping some of her songs.
Yeah.
Ugh,
I mean,
but
I will say I still can't say that I like the album. I still can't say that I like her newest album. It's not my favorite at all. But
it's not mine either. But I did hear, what is it, The Fate of Ophelia at the airport last week, and I was like, it is catchy. I'll give you that.
that's what
It's
I
a
was going to say.
really catchy song.
I do keep hearing like The Fate of Ophelia and Opalite played places, and I'll like catch myself singing along, and I'm like, she got me. She got me. I'm singing it.
Dude.
Welcome to the Siren Songbook, a podcast where we discuss female artists, their music, their history, and the impact they've made on the music industry. Join us each month as we pick a new inspirational artist and celebrate exactly what it is that makes them so magical. Hey, oh.
That's gotta stay in.
Done. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 20. Or Jesus Christ. Okay. Hey. Welcome to episode 18 of the Siren Songbook. I'm Amy.
I'm Kasey.
And today we are discussing Taylor Swift.
Dun 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 dun. It's
We
about
almost-
damn time we cover her.
Yeah, it was time that we did it. We almost didn't do it after the album came out. We were almost like, maybe not. 'Cause
So there's so much heat, so much controversy. I was like, perhaps we just leave this, but with time it will cool, I guess.
yeah.
It's not like in February where we were like, we're gonna cover Joni Mitchell, and then I
Mm-mm.
discovered her like blackface era, and I went, okay, never mind, we're not
Yeah, no,
covering
we're not
Joni
doing
Mitchell. Oh boy.
I
Ooh.
I know that there's a lot of controversy, and I do believe Black women, when they come forward and say, I felt like this was a microaggression. I do think that there's been some where people and people have been coming forward and being like, yeah, no, that's a little too far now. But I think, I definitely think that there were some things that she said that can be taken in ways that maybe somebody on her team should have been like, hey, babe, I know you like this lyric, but
yeah, I feel like this whole album has, this newest album, The Life of a Showgirl,
yeah,
has just the theme of it has been, maybe we need some different people in our team, people that are willing to say no, people that are willing to kind of speak up about things. Like, if you have more people of color in your circle, they can be like, hey, I don't know if, like, maybe I know like this isn't what you mean, but people are going to take it this way.
yeah,
When it comes to like Opalite. And I was surprised about that, because I remember when I mean, again, I will never police how other people take or feel about things. That's how art is. Art is subjective.
yeah,
How you feel about a piece of art is completely singular to you. But when I listened to Opalite, I just thought it was, oh, it's a light and dark reference. You have those all the way back to the Bible and stuff. And then in the days after the album was released, seeing people talk about kind of that being seen as like, because of her current fiance, or current, sorry, that sounds awful. Her fiance is, I didn't mean to say it like that. I don't know why I said that. I was gonna say her current partner, but her fiance's ex being a Black woman, and then going from like the whole concept of going from dark to light, like, yeah, I don't know. It's, I think that if you have, like, this is a tale as old as time, like, maybe she didn't mean that, but like, it would be, if you had conscious people in your part, like in your group, that were like, "Hey, have you thought about how this might come across?" And then
Yeah.
either get on top of that or don't, or just post it anyway. I don't know, but
Yeah, at least like have those people to have that conversation. I
right?
think the big one was the whole like I'm not a bad bitch and this isn't savage one, which that whole song was
Yeah, weird.
a choice. It was a
Yeah,
choice.
I've heard people. I've heard, you know, many people have many different or many different interpretations of eldest daughter, and I've seen women of color equate the verbiage that she uses in the song, the vernacular in particular, as like a microaggression. Then I've heard other women of color that say that if you think of black women specifically when someone says bad bitch or savage, then like you have a problem, like we're not
Yeah.
a monolith and all this stuff. And so again, I want to respect people from all different perspectives. Like it doesn't seem that there's no, on this album in particular, it doesn't seem like there's um a cohesive like thought about it. It's not like we all agree that this is coming off this way. There have been
Yeah.
people that are like, "How dare you think that it comes off this way?" And I've seen people that say it definitely comes off this way on purpose. And so it's hard. I mean,
And it's
the
hard to
biggest one,
know without her coming out, and I think that's
and
another thing is that
clarifying.
she hasn't come out and been like she's come out and said what she meant the songs to be about, kind of, because she released that like
Was it the
song by
movie thing?
song thing, or
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like some like song by song thing where she like talks about each song, and she came out with that, but I don't think I think it was recorded probably before the album came out, honestly.
Yeah,
Um
probably.
and so at no point has she come out and said, I apologize for how that came off. That's not what I meant. And I think that I don't know. I would hope that that would go a long way if she did that. I think that's but like I said, we kind of jumped into the album, even though I was like, I'm not going to. I think besides everything that just happened over this last month, Taylor Swift
Yeah.
is a huge part of the music industry and has
Mhm.
broken records. And I even said when this album did come out, I was like, to be fair, she has written a lot of music. She has released a lot of music. There is multiple versions of every album out there, pretty much.
Mhm.
And there's going to be songs you aren't going to like. Like,
Yeah.
there's,
With 12 albums, there's bound to be one that's not, like, you can't be perfect every time. And
yeah,
I mean, regardless of the lyrical quality of this latest album, it did break insane records. It sold 4 million copies in the first week. And is now the highest selling album of the 21st century uh already. So, I
and
mean,
I think you sent me a video that was like all these people when they found out Taylor Swift were releasing that day went, no, I'm finding another day to release.
yeah, a lot of people move their release
So
dates up or at different times. And so her impact, directly, it's the same thing with Beyonce. I know we talked about this before, that, everyone used to release music on Tuesdays, and then she released an album in the 2010s on a Friday, and then that changed the entire music industry and everyone started releasing music on Fridays. So, I think Taylor Swift has that same impact of completely altering the industry as we know it.
yeah, and I think that that's why we have to talk about talk about Taylor Swift specifically. You can't talk about women and females in the music industry and not talk about Taylor Swift. Like you you have to realize the impact and the change she's made on the industry, whether you like her or not, I feel like.
Just to name
Um,
some of the things that she has accomplished. She's the only artist to have been named the IFPI Global Recording Artist of the Year 5 times. A record 8 of her albums have each sold over 1 million copies first week in the US. Publications such as Rolling Stone and Billboard have ranked Swift among the greatest artists of all time. She's the first individual from the arts to be named Time Person of the Year. Her accolades include 14 Grammy Awards, including a record 4 Album of the Year wins and a Primetime Emmy Award. Swift is the most awarded artist of the American Music Awards, the Billboard Music Awards, and the MTV Video Music Awards, and a subject of extensive media coverage. She has a global fan base known as Swifties. But not only that, she also has the highest grossing the highest grossing concert tour ever to earn $1 billion in revenue. She literally, as the tour was progressing, the Eras tour, it was fundamentally changing the economy of smaller countries.
yeah.
Like that's how much impact she has. Absolutely insane. Like, I mean, there is
And
no one doing it like her.
yeah. And that's the thing is that like people talk about like, oh, she's so disconnected and stuff. But you also, she started doing this when she was how old? 16?
Yeah. And
Six?
probably even before that, it's like 16 is when she debuted. But like I have this fundamental belief that like you kind of are frozen in time the year you become famous. So, yeah, like
Yeah.
her life is not the same as other people's. Like she doesn't live in the same reality that like you or I live in.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, it's like, obviously, especially with the way that the political climate is in this country right now, the poverty that a lot of people are facing, they see like we were talking about before we started recording, she's kind of a stand-in for a lot of things that people think are wrong. Like, she's tall, thin, wealthy, blonde, blue-eyed woman. And I think that she's that stand-in for like that like girl in high school that just got everything that she wanted. She's the
Yeah.
homecoming queen, the prom queen, the whatever. Or that person from your job that just like is doing very well for themselves, or that lady in the neighborhood or whatever. Like she's that stand-in. Like it's but because you interact with the actual people in your life, it's harder to like deal with them. But Taylor Swift is somebody you'll never meet, and so it's easy to hate her.
Yeah. And she became like the stand-in person for me for like not necessarily her first few albums, but like probably around the time she started dating Joe Jonas. She started becoming that crazy girl for a while there. Like I don't know exactly what albums they were. It was around the time that oh my god, Bad Blood and uh Look What You Made Me Do. Look what you made me do.
Oh,
Look
so
what you
like
just made me.
in between 1989 and Reputation, I'm guessing.
Yeah, when that stuff came out, she was like, for me, she stood it. I had a friend who was kind of a stalker and she was obsessed with Taylor Swift. And I put all that emotion that I felt about my friend on Taylor Swift because I was like, well, look at the music
Mm.
she's listening to.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Oh man. No, I totally get that. I mean, I shared this story with you before we started recording, but I'll share it on the podcast too. Like for me, and like I can say that, and I feel like is me being able to talk about this is me deconstructing my own internalized misogyny. Like because we grew up in a patriarchal society. It's like no matter how much I work on deconstructing and decentering, like I don't know, like I feel like when in a patriarchal society, women are always in competition with each other. And so I've
yeah.
been very much trying to avoid that, especially as I get older. But as a kid, and I was still deeply involved in the church and all this stuff where that is a very patriarchal system,
Mm-hmm.
being a Christian and stuff. And so I can say, like, with reflection, that, like, I think that's where a lot of the animosity towards this person I've never met came from. And I was doing a talent show in the 6th grade, I think it was. And me and this other girl were competing for the final spot in the talent show because we auditioned late. And I auditioned with a song that wasn't really well known, but whatever. And then my friend auditioned with a Taylor Swift song and she got in and I didn't. And so therefore I decided to hate Taylor Swift because of that. She like auditioned with our song because I think only
Yeah.
the first album was out. And I was like, well, like, oh, what's so special about her? She writes her own music. So do I. And I'm like, 11, 12 years old. What does that even mean? And like, Taylor Swift did nothing wrong. She doesn't even know me. She wasn't even part of it. But like, as a little kid, I was like, no, actually, I hate her. And like, it took me a really long time of deconstructing internalized misogyny and this like need to compete with other women, unknowing to me that that was what I was doing, for me to go, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
it's totally like, um, one, it's not Taylor Swift's fault. Two, maybe I just didn't pick the right song or I didn't sing that well. I came back the next year with my own song and ended up closing out the talent show. But
Yeah.
like and so I would like, even though I was like an emo kid and I like had my hair painted a couple or crazy colors and band t-shirts every day and stuff, like I would go home and I'd secretly listen to Taylor Swift. I wouldn't ever listen to her out loud.
See, and
But
I think
like,
I was into Taylor Swift in high school, like when she first came out, because I was into country music and stuff. But then as I got older and she started to come out, like I said, around the time that she came out with like, look what you made me do, look what you made me, I was like, I don't know that I like this Taylor. She's becoming crazy. And then that's when I was like, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. And then, but I'm not going to lie, I still sing those songs all the fucking time. They still got in my ear and I still listen to them consistently. But I think, and then like I hadn't listened to the other albums that she's come out with. I've heard like the songs and they get stuck in my head, but ever since then I've kind of been on the like, I don't hate her, but I'm not a big fan, you know.
yeah.
I missed out on some good albums. I'm not gonna lie. Leo kept telling me that he loved Midnights.
Yeah, David,
And
my partner also really likes a lot of Taylor Swift songs. He has no problem admitting it. My partner is a metal drummer. Like, but like, I literally, Look What You Made Me Do is one of his favorite fucking songs. He loves ripping that track. He thinks it's so fun to play along to. He just loves that song so much. And there's a ton of Taylor Swift songs that he's just like, yeah, this is really good. Like one of the songs that's on my list, he also really likes, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived.
yeah, that's a good one.
You know, he was listening to it and he's like, man, it just like it's got so much feeling to it, blah 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 blah. And, it was genuinely, I can admit this, like, I think that Taylor Swift is a great litmus for how you are along in your journey of like deconstructing patriarchy. I truly do feel that way.
Yeah.
Because I always like when I hear someone say like, oh well, she doesn't actually write her own songs, immediately I go, uh-huh, okay. Okay, we don't want to actually give her the act. Like we're gonna take away the
Yeah.
things. I don't see people talk about male artists like that. Like no one's like, Ed Sheeran doesn't write his own songs. He can't. Like he's probably has a ghostwriter. You don't even question that. You don't even
Yeah.
question that. That's so crazy. But it really was when I started like, taking therapy a lot more seriously and like looking at my own life and realizing and deconstructing all that stuff, that like I had given myself space to just be like I think Folklore had come out around that same time. It was during the pandemic where I had a lot of time to reflect, as we all did. And like
Yeah.
Folklore came out, immediately I was obsessed with it. I thought it was such a fantastic album. I bought the vinyl, I bought the Folklore cardigan. I was like, I'm in it. I don't give a fuck what other people think. And I like was able to kind of go back and like kind of heal that part of myself as a younger girl that just didn't want to enjoy something because, oh well, she's too popular or this and that and blah 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 blah, and like the men think she's pretty. Ew, girl.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot of growing up that I needed to do.
I think that like you don't have to like her necessarily. Like I wouldn't say that I'm a huge fan. I like some of her music. I think you were saying like how you feel about her is how you've deconstructed from the patriarchy. I can appreciate that she's made a difference and that she has some good music and not hate her or like throw anger on her and just be like, yeah, some of her stuff's not for me. But she's still
Yeah.
insanely talented. Obviously, you were just talking about all the records she's broke.
Yeah.
Like obviously there's something to that.
100%. 100%.
So.
I feel like like even like I don't mean to come off it or like to say that like, oh, if you don't like her, then you haven't
Oh,
deconstructed your
no, no,
patriarchal
no.
beliefs or anything like that. It's more
Yeah.
like you're allowed to dislike, totally allowed to dislike her, but like for me, it was understanding what I did or didn't like, and not be
Yeah.
because oh well, like making up things in my head, like or like literally making up this idea that she doesn't write her own music, or like taking away all these things, or demeaning all of her accomplishments. Like if I don't
Yeah.
like a song, it's because I don't like the song, but that's like I don't really have an opinion about her as a person.
Well, and I
I
think
mean,
that was very, you made a video about it on TikTok. I think that was very prevalent and obvious when this album came out, because
yeah.
like you and I talked that same day. I had it playing on my stream and I was listening to it, and you're like, have you listened to it all the way through off of stream? And I was like, no. And you were like, yikes. I was like, oh. um but then it was like, I didn't like the album, but then there was all this hate, and then it became like overkill.
Yeah, it was like a dog pile of
Yeah.
like honestly, and I hate to use this analogy, but I feel like it's correct. It felt like a witch hunt a little
Yeah.
bit. Um and it just seems to get bigger and bigger as she gets bigger and bigger. Of well, now she's the most successful artist of all time. And like I've heard, cuz she's broken records that like were previously held by like Michael Jackson and stuff like that. And if we're being completely honest, like she probably has more reach in this current landscape than I don't know. You can't compare the two artists because he was, in his prime like 40 something years ago, and now we're
Yeah.
here. He's not around anymore. But like because people just assume like, oh well, no, like that's not fucking real and that's not true because oh I like respect him as an artist, but I don't respect her. Respect has nothing to do with it. If she's breaking records, she's breaking records,
Yeah.
and that just is what it is. And like as long like I can acknowledge all of that success and think that that's super cool that a woman is doing that. I think that that's really awesome. And I can also listen to an album she puts out and maybe not love it because it's I don't know that one just didn't hit me. That one's not really for
Yeah.
me. And that's okay because I just at the same time I just don't see that same vitriol for male artists at all. I mean,
Mm-mm.
maybe Benson Boone, that poor kid. Holy fuck. All he did was do a backflip in a sequins jumpsuit. People were like, "We're gonna kill him." I think that's like the only guy, and I also feel like the hatred towards him is just not. I don't know. TikTok in general, the videos that are very negative get pushed, and those are the
Yeah.
videos that you end up seeing the most. So I couldn't tell if there was anybody that actually liked this last record because all I was seeing was like, "Fuck Taylor Swift, she's a piece of shit," and like
Yeah.
the more I sat there and I watched, it just genuinely and it was all women that were talking about it. It was like barely saw any, men discussing the album. I don't usually watch men's opinion anyway, sorry man. But excuse me, I made myself cough. But yeah, it felt like because I've been there. Because
Yeah.
I like wanted to find reasons to dislike her for such a long time. That's what I was witnessing when I was watching all these people. And again, some of the criticism is extremely valid. It is. And
Yeah.
again, I'm not going to if people felt that there were microaggressions in the song, who the fuck am I as a white woman to sit there and go, I don't see that. Like, no, I'm not. I do think that the conversation about wish list, have a couple kids, got the whole block looking like you, and some people being like, that's white supremacist rhetoric. That is actually insane. And I
Yeah.
don't agree with that at all. And I'm gonna stand on that hill. That was the type of shit that made me go, okay, we're losing the plot. We're
Yeah.
losing the plot. You're making things up now. Because she can have missteps. She's a fucking billionaire. She's not of our world, dude. And I'm not I don't
Yeah.
defend billionaires. I don't make a habit of doing that. I don't fuck with billionaires in general. I don't. Um but like at the same time, like that is so reaching. That's we're losing the plot for real and we're just making things up. And
Yeah.
I can recognize that because I was that person that would just sit there and go, yeah, whatever, Taylor, blah, 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 and then secretly
And then
bop her music.
sing her songs.
Yeah. What a hypocrite. But you know what? I've been in therapy for a long time now. I'm not 12 anymore. I'm 29. I'm an
Yeah.
adult. I'm, you would hope that you have that sort of growth as you get older for sure. And again, like, yeah, I mean, I didn't, in the same thing, like if I'm listening to some of these songs like Canceled, I do think it's a problematic song. I don't like it.
Yeah,
I
that
think that it's,
one's
ugh, yeah. I like my friends Canceled, and the people that you've been hanging out with are, I don't know, Brittany Mahomes, who's like a big Trump supporter. Ugh. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a huge misstep. Or like Actually Romantic. Hey, it doesn't matter. I don't know what kind of relationship you and Charlie XCX had behind closed doors, the things that were said. We don't know you two. I
Yeah.
will say, from an outsider's perspective, as a PR person, which I think she needs a new PR team. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah. I think she needs somebody who's telling her, like, hey, just so you know, this is how it's going to look.
Yeah. Like, I think I said this in a text where it's like, your takedowns are punch downs because you're, at the end of the day, a billionaire who has
Yeah.
broken every record in the book. The classiest thing for you to do is just go, girl, whatever. Okay. But like
Yeah.
writing a diss track about some other artist that like, I can understand being hurt, but look at your life and look at their life. Look at the, look at your net worth, sorry, and their net worth. It's not even worth your time. Like, it's okay. Move on, girl. It's whatever.
Yeah. And like we said, we don't know what happened behind closed doors, but if it really is just about that song, the song was literally her talking about her comparing herself from what
I'm sure.
I understand.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure there was actual like things being said behind closed doors and this and that and like or, well, yeah, I don't even know. Again, it's like getting into
Yeah.
the speculation of things, but the optics of it just don't look good. And my whole opinion of this life of showgirl is you just need to have
A better
other
PR
people in
team.
your circle. You need a better circle. A circle of people that are looking out for you
Yeah.
and sitting there and willing to tell you no because they love you and they care about you. And maybe somebody could have sat there and said, hey, I know you're upset at Charlie for whatever the fuck she said about you or whatever and this and that and blah, 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 blah. But like the Coke line, lame.
Yeah.
Hey, at the end of the day, girl, you're a billionaire. You don't have problems, honestly. You're
Yeah.
not sitting there going, fuck, how am I going to... SNAP benefits are going to be canceled for the month of November. How the fuck am I going to put food on my table? You'll never think about that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, so just move on. And I'm not saying this is like a boo Taylor. I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
I just, again, and I can say it for myself too. I've had missteps.
Yeah.
I like misread situations. I get really angry for no reason. I feel hurt. I feel, whatever. And then I need somebody in my life, usually like my sister or David, to sit there and go, girl, relax. It's whatever. At the end of the day, it's literally whatever. And I go, oh, yeah, you're right. So she just needs somebody like that. And that's okay.
Yeah. I think that it's okay for us to talk about, like, we're still respecting the change she's had, but also honoring that she's human. And obviously there's been a lot of conversation about this stuff. So we're doing a podcast. We have to, discuss that stuff too.
Right. It would be, I feel wrong to sit there and go, wow, there's a lot of discourse about this album. Anyway,
Yeah.
definitely is worth talking about. I mean, that's like all I've seen on my TikTok feed for the last 4 weeks. So, or 3 weeks or whatever. So it would be weird for me to be like, wow, I have no idea what anyone's saying about this album.
Especially as because we decided, because she has such a long history, we're going to do the top 5 songs like we did with Dolly Parton. Since she has so many albums. And then like when we were listening, there was like, I listened to Midnights, and then Kasey's like, I like this song from Midnights. And I'm like, I can't find that song on Midnights. It's because there's like 3 versions of Midnights.
Yeah. It's always so confusing. Like I totally forgot because the song that I picked was Bigger Than the Whole Sky. I completely forgot it wasn't on the original version. It was on the 3 a.m. version that came out like hours after. I don't know. I can't keep up with any of that.
And that's
go,
I'm
"I
not
like that
gonna
one."
lie. I'm not gonna lie. That all is a little insane to me. Like, can you just release the album? And then if a little while
Don't
later
tease
you
us.
want to do a deluxe, cool.
I feel that. I think that's how I felt with Torture Poets Department, where it was like the anthology came out like 3 hours later and it was a whole like other 15 songs. And I was just like, dude, what?
Okay, so that's what I
Give
think
me
I
a
listened to
moment.
the anthology and I had written down that I liked So High School. And then
I
this
like that
morning I
song. I
was
think it's cute.
looking through it and I was like, where is this song? And I like Googled it. It says it's from Tortured Poets Society. And I'm like, but it's not on this album. Did she get rid of it? Is it gone now? What happened in the last week? And then I realized that it's on the anthology.
Yeah,
So.
the whole with both together. Like if you're listening to the anthology, it has all of the songs, so it's like what 31 tracks. Woof. I don't how much the Torture Poets Department had 17 songs, so it ended on 17 or 16 songs. I don't even know, dude. Did it end on Clara Bow? I don't remember.
I think it did. Yeah,
Oh
it
no.
did. It
Oh
ended
my
on
god.
Clarabelle.
Okay. And then she releases what's like the Black Dog through the manuscript. Oh my god, my brain was so overloaded. I'm not gonna lie, the night that this
Yeah.
album came out, because again, like I listened to the albums when they come out at midnight because like yeah, I'm a fan, whatever. Like yeah, I was like still in the middle, I feel like, of getting through some of these tracks, like actually trying to like metabolize them and listen to the lyrics and all that stuff. And then it was like, by the way, here's another 15. And I was like, wow, give me a second. I'm still
Yeah.
on like I can do it with a broken heart. Give me a moment, please. Which, you know what? That's cool as hell. I will say, I like compared her to earlier this week or earlier this month, because we've been texting back and forth all month about her.
Yeah.
But I compared her to Alexander Hamilton, like the way that Lin-Manuel writes him. Like, why do you write? Like, you're running out of time. It's like literally, like she is the epitome of that part where he's like, Hamilton wrote the other 51.
Yeah.
Like, jeez.
And again, that goes back to, she writes a lot of music. There's going to be some that you're like, yeah, I don't know about that one. I will say, as a creative, that is awesome that she can just write.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous of that. It'll take like it literally. I hadn't written a song in like a year and a half, and I finally wrote one recently, and I was like, my work is done. I did it. And I remember watching like an interview from years ago. I think it was after she was done recording Red, where she was like, yeah, I normally write like 40 songs on it for an album, and then we just, narrow it down to the best 12 or however many. And I think at the time, like I understand like her time at Big Machine is like a sore subject now, dealing with all of the well, it might not be now that she owns her masters again, but again, I mean, now finally. But I think then there was at least people in her corner that could sit there and go, yeah, you have a lot of really cool songs. These are the best ones. Let's just release these ones. And then when she was doing the Taylor's versions, she like released some of the song. Like it was like 5 tracks per Taylor's version of like, these are other songs I wrote for or this album cycle that I just didn't release. And some of them ended up being like super cool that I was like, man, I wish this was on the album. Like I know that, was it Speak Now that had some good ones? I mean, they all did. But Castles Crumbling featured Haley Williams was cool as hell. Or When Emma Falls in Love and things like that. Like there were some like really cool tracks that just didn't make the album, but it showcases like how cool it is that she can write so much.
Yeah.
But like maybe you don't need to release a 30-song album.
Yeah.
But it's fine if you did. Whatever.
It's a bit much. Maybe save it for another album. Maybe make a round 2 in a year or something.
Yeah. I just think, I think again, my biggest thing with her is just that feeling like maybe like having people in your corner that are looking out for you that can sit there and go, maybe not this line, maybe not this song, you
Yeah.
know?
And I think we
Maybe
talked about that a little bit too. That was like there's definitely like songs that you're like, it's a good idea. It's a really good idea. I just think maybe you could have worded it differently, which would be you can tell the ones that she did write completely on her own compared to the ones where she has someone else in the room who's willing to help her edit a little
yeah.
the
And I'm not saying
ideas.
that yeah, I'm not saying that she can't write all these songs by herself. Speak Now, I mean, she wrote that completely on her own, and I thought the whole album was awesome. But like
Yeah.
it is like I have a red pen. Like I'll write something and I'll show it to David or I'll show it to my sister and either one of them will offer me some advice like maybe there's a more concise way to say that. Maybe I think that your chorus is actually a pre-chorus and I think that you could write a better chorus or this. And
Yeah.
I mean like I'm not Taylor Swift and I need more songwriting help than she does. But just like I think like having someone there that can sit there and say, is there a more concise way to say this? Or is there
Yeah.
a way to say this that like this could be taken this way or that way? Whatever. I think that like, Life of a Showgirl, like maybe having someone in the room that goes, it was canceled a song you needed to make.
Yeah.
Look at the optics of it. You as this person, and I understand, like that's her catharsis is writing these songs, but you don't need to be understood anymore, and you don't need to be right, and you don't need to win.
And
You've won.
also, there's something to say about you can write the song. You don't have to put it on an album.
Yes, of course, 100%. You write the song. It's going to make you feel better. Because at the end of the day, girl, you're a human. I get that. I 100% get that. If somebody was talking shit about me, I'd be fucking mad too. And I
Yeah.
have written songs about people
Yeah.
that have made me feel better. But like, I understand with some sort of self-reflection, I end up feeling bad that I did it later. And it might make you feel good right now, but put that song on a shelf. Because 3 years from now, are you going to be proud of that song?
Yeah.
Like, are you going to be proud of Actually Romantic because you went down to her level or whatever?
Well, and I think
Whoever, even if the song's not about Charlie, it's about somebody else. Are you going to feel good that you wrote a song where it's like, about, I don't even remember what the lyric is, something about like Coke. I'm going to see if I can pull it up really quick just so I don't misquote it. I heard you call me boring Barbie when the Coke's got you brave. Is that something you're going to be proud that you said
yeah.
in a couple years? Because for like Speak Now, everyone loves the song better than Revenge. He's not a saint, or he's not a saint, and she's not a saint, and she's not what you think. She's an actress. She's better known for the things that she does on the mattress, which is kind of a mean thing to say. And she understood that because when she
Yeah.
wrote that song, she was like 20 years old, and then she re-recorded the album, the Taylor's version, in her 30s, and changed the lyric because she also felt like that's not kind of. Instead, it's she's not a saint and she's not what you think. She's an actress. Whoa, he was a moth to the flame. She was holding the matches. Instead of she's better known for the things that she does on the mattress.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
right with self reflection, she realized, hey, that wasn't. I wouldn't say that now. And I feel like with that was my whole problem with Actually Romantic is like, are you going to be proud of that line later? I don't think so.
and that's I kept thinking about how she went back. She did her Taylor versions. The other one. That's fine. I'll tell mine. You're gay. Like she changed that line.
Yeah.
And I'm like, honestly, like I'm gay and I was not offended by that. But okay.
You're gay. I love that little like, clip of every time she sings it. It's just, you're gay. You're gay. Over and over again. But yeah, I mean, like, people grow and change. It's like the same thing with Paramore. They announced like years ago that they weren't going to perform Misery Business anymore because she wrote that when she was 17. And she was like, that's not a reflection of who I am as a person. I just had a lot of bitterness towards women back then. And then decided to, it is unfortunately their biggest song.
Yeah.
And so they
still love that fucking song.
You know what? When we're 17, when we're like in our like late teens, early 20s, yeah, we have that vindictive attitude. I totally did.
Yeah.
And I wrote songs like that back then. And now, Haley will usually talk about the song beforehand. Like I ended up seeing her very first, or Paramore's very first show back after their long hiatus when they performed in Bakersfield before This Is Why came out. And the
Mhm.
last show that they did, which was before the pandemic, she was like, I'm never performing this song again. This is the last time we're ever playing this song. It's not a reflection of me. It doesn't make me feel good. And then the song started playing, and all of us, or at the Bakersfield show, it was like 5 years later. Me and my sister were looking at each other like, "What?" I thought I'd never hear the song live again. And then she went into a whole thing about it where she was like, "This is not a reflection of who I am. This is a moment in time, and this is not how I feel. But I know this is her most popular song." And she wanted to give like a whole like speech ahead of time that's like, "I don't feel this way," and this
Yeah.
wasn't a nice thing to say. And I regret that I said this. And now we can sing the song, but know that that's not how I feel. And
Yeah.
I thought that that was like a great way to reflect on all that, because I know that that's it's something that's really bothered her for a really long time. The lyrics to that song. And so
Yeah.
yeah, it's like Taylor clearly, you've had self-reflection too, and like with Better Than Revenge, like changing the lyric. And I know a lot of people when the Taylor's version came out were mad that she changed the lyric, but I understood why she did it. So for
Yeah.
then only 2 years later to release this album and Actually Romantic as a song on there, it's like, where was that person?
Or
Where was that
canceled.
reflective person?
Yeah.
Or canceled, girl.
Like to fall
That's
back
another one
into
you leave
that.
in the draft.
That's where I got stuck too. I was like, you went through, you changed all these lyrics because you were like, that wasn't a cool thing to say, and then you come out with this album.
Yeah, it's a low blow. And at the end of
Yeah.
the day, when you're a billionaire, you don't have enemies. You like when you oh sorry, when you're a billionaire, you don't have ops. There's no villains in your life. And
Yeah.
I hate to be that person that's like, well, you got a bunch of money, boo-hoo. But like, hey, hey, with all the love in the world, with all the love in the world to Taylor Swift as an artist, you are in a tax bracket that very few people will ever have ever, currently very small, will ever accomplish. You have broken every fucking record. You're the best selling music artist of all time, wealthiest female musician. You don't have enemies. Like
Yeah.
like in that way. Like you can be
Yeah.
mad at the men that have wronged you. That's totally fine. But when it comes to like other women and stuff, like, girl, hey, just move on. Just,
Yeah.
keep your
If
head
you
up and
need,
keep going.
again, if you need to write it out, write it out. It doesn't have to go on an album.
Right. Because
And
the
I think,
optics look bad. Because
and I,
everyone picked Charlie's side.
yeah. So actually, let's go ahead and take our break here. And we're going to hear from a few of our fellow podcasts. And then we will be right back. And we will talk about our favorite Taylor Swift songs.
DJ Brood is happy to bring you a proper session of music listening at the beginning of every week on Twitch. With rotating themes showcasing new music, hits of the past, and specific genres, there is most definitely something for everyone to enjoy. Tune in every Monday from 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific Time as he broadcasts nothing but musical goodness live from the comfort of his home to the comfort of yours. Bedroom Radio, where there are no Monday blues, just Monday vibes.
Welcome to Know Your Rights, a music podcast from two guys who know just enough about songwriting to start a podcast about.
Follow Rob,
And Colton.
as each week we dive into a different band or songwriter and discuss what makes them great, okay,
Or otherwise.
music is law.
And we know our rights.
Streaming bi-monthly wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Know Your Rights, a Bassbone Entertainment podcast.
Okay. And we're back. So, really quick before we jump into our 5 favorite songs, what would you say your favorite album is as a whole?
My favorite album as a whole is Evermore. I didn't pick any of those songs to be in my top songs, but as a whole, I love putting that album on this, like when it gets to like November. From November to December, I just love the vibes of that album. I love the soundscapes of that album. I love the production of that album. I like the lyrics too. Champagne Problems is a good one. 'Tis the Damn Season is also so good. I just love
I really
Evermore so
liked
much.
Tis the Damn Season.
Oh, it's such a good song. Oh,
That's
love it.
Hallmark vibes. It's 100% like Hallmark movie vibes to
Yeah.
me.
It's so funny because like my album has changed over the years. Like when I was younger, I would have said like Red probably. I love a lot of the songs on Red, like State of Grace or All Too Well. Obviously the 10-minute version, but I love regular versions. Really good too. Or Holy Ground. I also really love that one, or The Lucky One. Beginning End's also a fantastic song. So Red when I was younger, but Evermore as an adult.
Okay. Mine was Midnight's, and I
Nice.
kind of went backwards because there were a lot of albums I haven't listened to. And so I started at the newest one, which we all know how we felt about that one.
Just spend the majority of the podcast talking about it.
Yeah. And went backwards from there. And I feel like Midnight's was the first time that I was just like, ooh, I really like this. As soon as Lavender Haze hit, which is one of my top songs, I was like, oh, I really like this. So I think that was my favorite, although I did really like Evermore too. That little generation right there was really nice.
Yeah, that like 2-year period of bliss.
Yeah. But okay, you go first. What we'll go back and forth. So
So my favorite Taylor Swift song now, because it always changes, over time. But I'm, about to be in my 30s, and I feel like I resonate with the music that she's written at that time in her life. Just like when I was a kid, I resonated with the music she wrote when she was a kid. So it is cool to see some stuff like as she gets older. I mean, I'm not including The Life of a Showgirl in that right now.
yeah.
But the other albums that came out just feel very like people being in their 30s. And one of the things that I'm just gonna go off on a tangent for just a second. I wish we could bring back, we probably can, the genre of adult contemporary music, because it just feels like the new music that's coming out is all made by children or
Yeah.
like artists that you listened to when you were a child. And so there's like, it's either I can just stay in that like, pop punk fucking Warped Tour world, or I could listen to music by people that born when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
So I miss just like music made by adults so much, and I know that there are there, but it's just that's not at the forefront of the music industry right now, which is a
Yeah.
bummer because everybody's ageist as hell. I literally watched a video yesterday where somebody was like, everybody's like, all these, they're talking about Twitch streamers, and they were like, yeah, all of the people that were in their prime when you're 20, 21. I went, that's your prime? What am I supposed to do? Kill myself now? The
Yeah.
fuck? There's so much life left to live. But they're like, yeah, all these people are like turning 30. So they're like all chopped. I'm like, oh my God. Guys, if you're lucky, you got another like 35, 40 years to go. What are we supposed to do with it? Pick our
Yeah.
nose? Fuck. Anyway, that ageism fucking. Ugh. But the music industry directly reflects the times. And I just feel like every new artist that pops up is like younger. Ugh. So anyway, that like that I just want adult contemporary back. That's why I love Adele so much. It's like I listen to her sing and I go, yeah. Like 30.
Or
Oh,
Brandy
love her.
Carlisle's new album, so good.
yeah.
I know I mentioned it earlier, but like definitely, make sure you're in the headspace because it is a very reflective album. But I think there's a line in there somewhere that's like when you're this far north of 40, and I'm still 35, but I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah. I appreciate music written by adults for adults, and I
Yeah.
think that we need to have more of that because guys, I know that All Time Low just released a new album and I really liked them when I was 12, dude. I don't listen to them now.
See, I don't mind listening
Not that
to
they're
it,
bad,
but I don't mind listening to it, but I want some newer stuff to listen to. Like I don't want to always be just going down that nostalgic hole and
yeah, I think
being-
that's really what it is. Like, even though they have grown, their sound is still kind of rooted in that same sound. That's why I love Hayley Williams' new album. It's just, she's 37, and she even talks about it. Like, she even mentions her age, like 37. And I'm so I love when women are just, yes, grow old, age. It's so beautiful and wonderful, and what a privilege. And I think
Yeah.
like that's why Bigger Than the Whole Sky hits me so hard, because that is about someone who did not get to age. Ugh. But anyway, all this to say, my favorite songs now are ones that she's written since like turning 30, I think. So the
Yeah.
first one on my list is The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. I love that song so much, and I feel like I haven't personally been in this situation, but like it came out around the same time that, and I can talk about this because my sister was okay with it, but with my sister and her divorce and everything, like her partner is like the epitome of this, that her ex partner, and so I don't know. It's just like, when something happens to like your sister, I don't know what it is. It's like it happened to her, and therefore it happened to me.
Yeah.
And I took that personally. And so I just, oh, dude, the lyrics of this song, I mean, we like, as women, we've all been in this situation. I have had this relationship before. It is a horrific relationship because it stains you forever. Um, and if rusty, like, and I don't even want you back. I just want to know if rusting my sparkling summer was the goal. And I don't miss what we had, but could someone give a message to the smallest man who ever lived? You hung me on a wall, stabbed me with your push pins, in public showed me off, then sank into stoned oblivion. Because once your queen had come, you treat her like an also ran. You didn't measure up in any measure of a man. Oh, what the fuck? And when it gets to the bridge, it's, did you sleep with a gun underneath our bed? Or, oh yeah, were you sent by someone who wanted me dead? Did you sleep with a gun underneath our bed? Were you writing a book? Were you a sleeper cell spy? In 50 years, will all this be declassified? Yeah, and I'll say good
Yeah.
riddance because it wasn't sexy once it wasn't forbidden. I have been in that where it's like it just genuinely, some of these dudes will, one, put you on a fucking pedestal because they're like, look, I'm showing you off, but then at home treat you like a pile of garbage.
Yeah.
And it's like, you only liked me when like it was a secret. She says, I would have died for your sins. Instead, I just died inside, and you deserve prison, but you won't get time.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. But
I
anyway,
really
I
liked those lyrics. I remember listening to that one and being like, those are the good lyrics that people were expecting.
it's so like this, I could just feel, and I know that I know that the Torture Poets Department was like, it was an info dump that she just needed to release that artistically for herself. I wouldn't assume she was releasing this album because she wanted to break more records. That's not how this album feels. Like there wasn't like
Yeah.
an actual like, this is the single of the album. But like I just could, building up a lot of the lyrics in the front half of the Torture Poets Department, and then getting to the end of the album where The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived is, like you could tell how sad she was.
Yeah.
And like I could just feel it in this song. Like, you crashed my party and your rental car.
Mm.
I like the lyric of, you're kicked out the stage lights, but you're still performing, and in plain sight you hid, but you are what you did, and I'll forget you, but I'll never forgive the smallest man who ever lived. Whoa.
Yeah.
Truly love that song so much. But that's my first pick. What about yours?
Well, so since we went to one of her newest albums, I'm gonna go all the way back. And I wrote this one down not because it's amazing lyrics or anything, but Teardrops on My Guitar is the first time that I really liked Taylor Swift. It's like one of her very first songs that came out. Is it her first song that came out?
I think
It's like
her
the
first
very
single.
first one. Yeah.
Something like that.
remember-
That one or Picture to Burn came out first. I don't remember. But
I remember that song coming out and being like, Michi and I had crushes on boys at the time, and it was our song for them because we were never gonna get to be with them, and it was dumb high school shit. Not saying it's like, I love a lot of her newer stuff way more, but it has that nostalgia for me. It's the first time I really liked her, and it was a good song. It was a good song, and at that time it did what it was supposed to do, which is caught all of our attention.
I love that song. I mean, I think because like I think that the picture of like teardrops on my guitar, like I'm crying. I don't know. I just love that line. I think that I've always thought
Yeah.
that was like so special. The only one that's got enough of me to break my heart. Ugh, he's the song in
Yeah.
the car I keep singing. Don't know
Don't
why
know
I
why I
do. Girl,
do.
I get it. And it's so 16, you know? It's
Yeah.
so being 16 years old and like having a crush on a dude is like it feels like the weight of the world is on you. Like everything's so heavy. You go to class and you see him and he maybe looks your way and you're like, ugh. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I totally
I
feel like she
think
encapsulates being a teenager.
I think that's why like now as I look back at it, I'm like, greatest song ever? Maybe not, but maybe it is. Like it was when I was 16.
Yeah.
It was the greatest song ever when I was 16. And
Hell yeah.
I'd sing it all the time and I wanted to write music like that. And I also think that might be why I was so, we mentioned earlier I was so disappointed when she started coming out with like Look What You Made Me Do, because I loved her songs like White Horse and Teardrops on My Guitar and stuff like that. And then
Personally victimized by Taylor Swift becoming a pop artist.
yeah.
No, I definitely think the pop thing is really cool, but I was even thinking about this when I was re-listening to a lot of her music this month in preparation for this podcast. Was like, man, honestly, if she'd put out another country album, I'd be totally cool with that.
Yeah.
But like, I've also matured too in the sense of like when I was a kid, I fucking hated country music because my dad did. But he used to say, this is the most Gen X thing I've ever heard in my life. But this is the thing that my dad used to say all the time. Coming from a dude that was only into metal music and he only listened to metal my whole life. He'd be like, country plus rap equals crap.
I remember
What
that
the
line
fuck?
because people would say it all the time.
Yeah,
I
which
heard
is
that
so
line.
crazy. So for the longest, I didn't listen. Well, okay, I secretly listened to like rap and hip hop all the time because I fucking loved it. I couldn't help it, but it was like that and like country music. Country music was the only genre I straight up went that at all. And then now, I mean, like one of my favorite artists of all time is Kasey Musgraves, and I mean, some people consider her more folk now anyway, but still, I
Yeah.
listened to when Kasey Musgraves came out. I went, I'm all in. I'm all in. And then same thing with like Brandi Carlile, kind of on the folk Americana side, but also still considered somewhat of a country artist. Like they're when I realized it wasn't just like bro country and the courtesy of the US of A fucking we're sending shit up like that kind of bullshit. Ugh, that is crap. I will 100% agree. That's nasty shit. But like 90s country, dude. Ooh.
90s country. So good.
I
Give me
spent
some
most every night
Reba.
underneath the neon lights. Woo! And the neon mirror.
Yeah.
I love it. So again, same thing. I've matured. I like country music now. If it's not coming out of Morgan Wallen's mouth,
Yeah.
fuck that guy. And also Zach Bryan. Fuck him too.
Yeah.
You know what? Ugh. Okay, to go back to the smallest man who ever lived for just a second. His ex didn't take this this lump sum of like $12 million that he was going to give her to keep quiet about the abuse she endured being with him. And she like fell in love. She didn't like Taylor Swift either. And then when she was going through this breakup with Zach Bryan because he like beat her and manipulated her and screamed at her and all this crazy stuff for like over a year, she fell in love with Taylor Swift because of that song, Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. And she was like, this is about him and this and that. And like, so power. Hey.
Yeah.
Fuck Zach Bryan. Anyway.
But I think that's why it's my favorite song. And like you said, like very teenager, but when I was a teenager, that shit hit.
Dude, yeah.
Like,
Same thing with like You Belong With Me. It's like the same.
Yeah.
Like it is so high school. So high school. But like, yeah, when you're in high school, it's like everything is the end of the world all the time. Your mom
yeah.
could wave at you from the parking lot and you're like, I have to kill myself now.
Yeah.
Everyone saw my mom wave at me. I have to kill myself.
Well, okay. I know we said we're going to go back and forth, but because we just mentioned it, another song on my list was So High School.
Hey.
But I wrote it down because like people were talking about like, oh, she's going back to high school in some of these songs, and it sounds weird. And then when I got to this album, this song in Midnights, I was like, this is how you go back to high school as an adult. I feel like
Yeah.
it's all about that, getting that like giddy feeling that you got in high school when you first had a crush on someone, and that new feeling, and how it's so strong. Even though you're an adult now, it feels like high school again. And like, not in a bad way, but in that like innocence way, that I'm innocently falling in love with you right now. And
It's one of those songs that kind of just makes you like kick your feet up and go, hee.
yeah. and also just the like pattern and the rhythm of the song and the melody. Like, I love and in the blink of a crinkle an eye, I'm sinking our fingers entwined, cheeks pink in the twinkling lights. Tell me about the first time you saw me. I'll drink what you think and I'm high from smoking your jokes all damn night. The brink of a wrinkle in time. Like, that whole part right there is so
scratches
well
an itch in your
written.
brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
No, I mean, so good.
I love the chorus too, where it's like, it puts you back there with the like, bittersweet 16 suddenly. I'm watching American Pie with you on a Saturday night. Your friends are around, so be quiet. I'm trying to stifle my sighs. Like, I love it. I love it. And it puts you like right back there, like that feeling like a kid a little bit again, and that innocence when you first are falling in love with someone again as an adult is really nice. And I really like that song. And that's how you write about high school as an adult. Like,
Yeah. I like the bridge of that song where it's like, truth, dare, spin bottles, you know how to ball, I know Aristotle, brand new, full throttle, touch me while your bros play Grand Theft Auto. Dude, cool as hell. I love that. And I totally get exactly what the fuck she's saying.
Yeah.
Because like it is fucking nice to sit there and say, like, I'm so in love with someone. It feels like, we were just talking about a second ago with Teardrops on My Guitar, where everything feels like the end of the world when you're in high school. Like, everything just, you've never loved anyone as much as you love this person you've never spoken to, or like, or whatever. And like, actually, like, yeah, I mean, I can only imagine like loving, like, literally like drinking someone in when you're like 16. It's like the person that you're dating, if you do date someone in high school, I did date someone. I was about to say, no, I didn't. I did. I dated somebody in high school, and like before we got together, I was like, this person is like a god. Yeah. And I feel like when you get that same kind of giddy feeling again when someone brings it out of you, I think that's so special. And it was like a nice sort of bookend to this like really sad album.
Yeah.
To be like, there is hope on the other side. Everything was so sad, but I now found someone who makes me not want to be so fucked all the time. Because like you get like, I could do it with a broken heart. And it's like her talking about like essentially, the show must go on even though she's fucking devastated. Yeah. There were like there was like footage from the Eras tour like right after like either her and Joe broke up or her and Maddie Healy had broken up, and she was just like on stage still performing, but like tears are rolling down her eyes because she's like doing it with a broken heart. And I don't know, I just think can't take any breaks because this is the biggest tour of all time. You're not allowed to.
Yeah.
And keeps doing it. And then in the end, to find someone that makes you feel like 16 again. Oh, how special that is,
Yeah. And I don't know. I just really love that song.
Yeah.
I really love that. I love the way that it's not like going back to high school, but it's like reminiscing on how you felt in high school. And then I love the descriptive lyrics in the chorus that like just puts you there. Like you said, exactly what she's talking about. I love the rhyme scheme. I really, really like that song. So that's definitely up there on my list. What was next on your list?
The next one on my list was LOML, Love of My Life / Loss of My Life. Which is also, we're 3 songs on Torture Poets Apartment, which is so funny. Like, the first line is, who's gonna stop us from waltzing back into rekindled flames? If we knew the steps anyway, we embroidered the memories of the time I was away, stitching we were just kids, babe. So sad. Cause like, it genuinely feels like this song definitely has to be about, and I don't want to speculate about our relationships at all.
Yeah.
But like, it feels like this one is about like a long-term relationship. So I would assume like the partner she's been with the longest amount of time. And you know, I'm just gonna say this. I love my partner so much. We've been together for 8 years on and off.
Yeah.
Not always, not all the time. And in those moments where it wasn't working, it felt like this. And I'm glad we were able to get therapy and find ourselves in each other and blah, 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 all that. But, it's just like we did break up for a little while and it felt like this, it just like
Yeah.
so heavy and so painful. It's like, in your suit and tie in the nick of time, you low down boy, stand up guy, you holy ghost, you told me I'm the love of your life. You said I'm the love of your life. That's the first chorus. And she changes the lyrics throughout, which I get to the it's like kind of like a bridge, but it's like the end of the song. Let me see if I can get to it. There's so many good lyrics in it. I just want to read the whole song, but I'm not going to. But the last chorus, it like always hurts me so much. Oh, what a valiant roar, what a bland goodbye. The coward claims he was a lion. I'm combing through the braids of lies. Quote, I'll never leave. Quote, never mind. Our field of dreams engulfed in fire. Your arsons match your somber eyes. And I'll still see it until I die. You're the love of my life. And I just can't.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I don't know who this song is about for her. Literally, there's like, you should talk to me under the table, talking rings and talking cradles. I wish I could unrecall how we almost had it all. Dancing phantoms on the terrace. Are they secondhand embarrassed that I can't get out of bed because something counterfeits dead? Dude. Like, I don't know. That's like, that encapsulates exactly how I felt, when my partner and I did break up for a while. And it was just like, I couldn't find it. Like, I didn't think we'd ever get back together at the time. There wasn't an intention of doing so. It really did feel like the loss of my life.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that like when you're in a serious relationship, like it's not like this isn't high school like that. And I don't know. I know in high school when like something bad happens, again, like we said, it feels like the end of the world. But like when you love someone so much and it's not working, and you expected it to work forever, like when my partner and I did break up for a while, like it truly did. Like I was like, I told my therapist at the time, I completely understand the concept of dying of a broken heart now because I was in physical pain. Like I was so dead on the inside that I was like, honestly, I could have a heart attack right now and pass away. And I was 25, but still like, that's exactly how I felt.
I think that was me with my ex when like we had a break before we broke up. Like we had a break. Yeah. And that was like that same thing. Like I thought that we were going to be together forever. I thought this was my person, And
then they flipped the script. They left. And that's without any preparation. Like I can even like go into some sort of detail about this, but like we went out to dinner that night before we broke up and I was so excited. You and I were literally, I think, on the phone talking about something. I was like, I got to get ready for my date. Ha ha ha. And I was so happy and so excited. And by the time we got home from our date, we had broken up. It like the night had just gone like I felt like my whole life fell apart in like 3 hours.
Mine was literally, I was talking to Caitlin and I had said something and she goes, I don't think he loves you, Amy. And I got really upset and I called him and I went, Caitlin doesn't think you love me. And he just sat there.
Oh my fucking God, dude. Oh.
And I went, do you not love me?
Oh Oh my god.
And like literally just like fucking like yeah, my world fell apart.
Oh my god, that's
Um
heartbreaking. Fuck that guy. I'll call him right now and fucking tell him that. I'm so mad. What the fuck?
But to be fair, it all worked out in the end. Same with Taylor Swift. She seems very happy with her fiance.
Yes.
So
Oh, maybe that's why you like So
And-
High School so much, because it's like it almost is the exact same thing that happened to you. It's like
yeah.
the trash took itself out, and now you're with the love of your life.
Yeah. Yeah, like songs like I'm dyslexic, so I'm not
LOML?
loss of yeah, there we go. Like it, there is that, like you said, that definite grief that I might not worry about feeling now because I've found my person, but I definitely have felt, Well, moving
What's
on
your next
to maybe something a little happy. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna go with this one because this one's also sweet. I wrote down "Sweet Nothing" from Midnight's.
Mm.
That was another one of those. I like a good love song. I love a good sweet love song. It's just fucking cute. And this one, they said the end is coming. Everyone's up to something. I find myself running home to your sweet nothings. Outside they're pushing and shoving. You're in the kitchen humming. All that you ever wanted from me was sweet nothing. And I love that whole idea of like, I love the switch on the sweet nothings. I love that it's like coming home to your sweet nothings. And then it's also like, you don't want anything from me except for me to be me and to love each other. Like, you're not asking me for anything. You're not looking to take anything from me. You just love me,
Yeah.
I just really love that whole thing. That's pretty much encapsulates everything I feel about this song. I really love the idea of, especially now that I have my home with Leo, like,
Yeah.
I crave to come home and do nothing with him, or like when he's cooking breakfast and he has his music on and he's singing to it or whatever, the other night he was doing bedroom radio and it was emo night and he was in here air drumming away. And like I could see that and I could picture it, and it's like I pictured our home in that song. And I think that's why I immediately was just drawn to it. And then also the fact that this is not necessarily what the song was about, but I am disabled and Leo's my caretaker, and there's a lot of times where I feel like I can't do enough, but he doesn't want anything from me. He wants me to be happy. He wants to love me,
Yeah.
And so the whole like ending part where it's all that you wanted from me was sweet nothing, like he doesn't need anything from me. We just need to love each other,
Yeah. What I think is really sweet is that this song was credited as written by Taylor Swift and William Bowery, which is the alias of her ex-partner Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to think that like the two of them wrote this song together is, I think, even more special.
Yeah.
Like, even if it, like, if I'm just thinking about, I know that they're not together anymore, but just thinking about that time period where they wrote that like love song, this like tender love song to each other, for each other,
Yeah. I just think it's a sweet song. No pun intended.
Yeah.
So, what was next on your list?
Well, since we're on Midnights, I'll just stay on Midnights. This is the deluxe version of the album. It's bigger than the whole sky. I can't listen to it without crying. And I don't at all want to speculate what the song's about for her specifically, but I specifically know that there are a lot of women that resonate with this song because it is like for them it resonates with like miscarriage, and that was something that I've seen quite a bit talked about, like the amount of women that have been like, no, this exactly encapsulates how it felt like when I lost my baby or things like that, which is so unbelievably sad.
Yeah.
There's a comedian, Mark Maron, who he just had a special that came out, and this song's in the end of it's at the very end. And the joke, the punchline of this, of why this song's even in the special in the first place, was that he was like, I didn't understand Taylor Swift. I didn't get the hype. So Midnight's had just come out. His partner had suddenly passed away during the pandemic. Like within days, she was just gone. And so he was still, this was like 2 years later, but still obviously grieving the love of his life. And he said that he was taking a hike up like Griffith Park, like one of the areas, and he was like listening to it. And since he was listening to the longer version, he like got to the park and he's almost to the top, and Bigger Than the Whole Sky comes on, and he just like drops to his knees and starts like hysterically crying. Because it like perfectly encapsulated how he felt. And someone I know who's a big Taylor Swift fan said that Taylor Swift's music finds you when you need it. And you know what? I can totally agree with that, because it's been a song for him that helped with the grief process of him losing his partner. And I guess at one point when he reached the top of the hill, because he listened to the song like 8 times or something like that, he ended up like passing out for a little bit. Like, and like hitting his head. And he shows pictures of his head being all busted up and stuff. But he even starts playing some of the song, and like you can see the tears well up in his eyes as he's playing it. And I just like, I think it is so special to be like, that's what's so special and important about songwriting in general, is that, and why I think it's so sad that AI is infiltrating the art as a whole. Not to get on that soapbox, but like there are certain things that are impossible to say just with words. And I think that, for all the things that Taylor Swift is, she has such a gift with words. And I'm sad that she even experienced this type of grief before that would make this song come about. But like this song could be about it's anybody that passed before their time. And honestly, is there ever the right time to pass away? But this is for the people that are left behind. But like literally opens up with like, no words appear before me in the aftermath, salt streams out my eyes and into my ears. Like, because you can visualize her just like laying down. Every single thing I touch becomes sick with sadness. That line is so like, I know. Because it's all over now, all out to sea. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. You were more than just a short time. That's so crazy. The second verse is so, it's like this, it's like then that stage of grief of like, if I could have done this, if I was here, what about this, blah 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 blah. Like you start questioning everything. The second verse starts with, did some bird flap its wings over Asia? Did some force take you because I didn't pray? That line always hits me, dude.
That one. Ugh. When I was a kid, there were people in my church and in my life who told me and my mom that my grandmother passed away because we didn't pray hard enough. And so that line for sure hit really hard when I heard that one.
Ugh, that's heartbreaking. Yeah, is it because I don't have a relationship? Like I left the religion like a long time ago. Yeah, it like continues with every single thing to come is turned to ashes because it's all over. It's not meant to be. So I'll say words I don't believe. Ugh. I've got a lot to live without. I'm never gonna meet what could have been, would have been, what should have been you. And I think that that's where people kind of relate it to like miscarriages and stuff. Like I'm never gonna meet what you were supposed to be. And that's just so fucking sad. But that's one of my favorite songs too. Because I just think that it's so generous, I think, as like a window into grief. And I don't know. I just think about that song quite a bit. Like Ugh. And then watching that like Mark Maron special where it comes up, like, oh my God, I was crying. And David hadn't heard that song, so I was like, you have to. And I just like put on like a YouTube video that had the lyrics, and I'm just like sitting there crying, listening to it. Oh my God.
Well, if we're gonna talk about kind of, heavy songs, the next one on my list was Epiphany, from Folklore. And I wrote that one down because when I was watching the documentary last night, she's like, this is the only one that kind of, she goes, I had started writing it about my grandpa and some of the heavy things he had gone through. But then like the pandemic happened, and this is the only time in the album that I really kind of mentioned what's going on in this time right now, because she wrote this during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I have all of the lyrics here, so I'm not going to read all of them. But like the first verse is very clearly about, someone in war or something. And then it's like, with you I fall down, watch you breathe in, watch you breathe out, something, and some things you just can't speak about. With you I serve, with you I fall down, watch you breathe in, watch you breathe out. And that's like the chorus. That's all it is. But then in the second verse, she starts talking about like the doctors, and she's like, something med school did not cover, someone's daughter, someone's mother, holds your hand through plastic now. Doc, I think she's crashing out. And some things you just can't speak about. Only 20 minutes to sleep, but you dream of some epiphany. Just one single glimpse of relief to make some sense of what you've seen. And then it goes back into the chorus. And it's a very simple song. There's not a whole lot of lyrics to it. There's like a very short chorus, 2 verses, and then the like, I guess, bridge or whatever you call it. But I feel like it's one of those songs where it doesn't need a lot of words.
Yeah.
We all lived through that. We know what it was like. Whether we weren't a doctor or not, we saw what was going on in the world,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just thought it was a really beautiful song, and it really touched me, and it was one of the few songs where it didn't feel like she was trying to cram a lot of words into it.
Yeah, I feel that.
She just let it be, and I really liked that about that song. So
yeah.
And I think, I think it is a good reflection of the time that we were in at that time. I think, and the fact that it started as one thing about her grandpa, and that still stayed in there,
Yeah.
But that she took that turn when things all happened is cool. So
Yeah, definitely.
that was on my list. And then I have one more. Do you have 2 more?
Yeah, I have 2.
2 more? Okay. So what was next on your list?
The next thing on my list is also from Folklore. Originally I put Peace because I do really love that song, and I think that's like that's a fear that she definitely had, with all the relationships in her life. Would it be enough if I could never give you peace because, of how unbelievably famous she is?
Yeah.
But I actually switched it to a song that I do love so much, and it's such a controversial track, Illicit Affairs. Obviously I don't like cheating. I don't condone it, but I think that it's so beautifully written, especially when you're it makes you can sympathize with the other woman in this situation. Like painting the scene of make sure nobody sees you leave, hood over your head, keep your eyes down, tell your friends you're out for a run, you'll be flushed when you return. Take the road less traveled by, tell yourself you can always stop. What started in beautiful rooms ends with meetings in parking lots. It just it goes from being this whirlwind, oh my God, this is so amazing, to it becomes I don't know, kind of disgusting in some ways.
Yeah.
This is where she puts clandestine in the thing, and I just think that's such a funny thing. That's the thing about illicit affairs and clandestine meetings and longing stares. It's born from just one single glance, but it dies and it dies and it dies a million little times. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
But like talking about like sneaking around and all that stuff. I think for me it's the bridge that I feel like hits me the most, and that's why I wanted to actually pick that song instead of like don't call me kid, don't call me baby, look at this godforsaken mess that you made me. You showed me colors I can't see with anyone else. And then she says, don't call me kid, don't call me baby again. Look at this idiotic fool that you made me. You taught me a secret language I can't speak with anyone else. And I, with that line in particular, or with that bridge, I like think of it less as I like in my head I relate to that in the way that, not that I've been a cheater or anything like that, but like talking about when me and my partner broke up, like that's how I felt. Like, how could you leave me? We speak a language I can't speak with anybody else. Like, you've showed me colors I can't see with anyone else. What the fuck am I supposed to do? And one of the things that I like when I like, was on dating apps for a little bit just to kind of tell myself it was time to move on. Like, I'd talk to people and like, I just thought about I'd have to start over with inside jokes after all this time. I'd have to, I could sit there and say, oh, like, here's this huge part of my life that you were a part of. And I have to just fully let that go now. Like, I don't know. I always think about that line, like, you taught me a secret language I can't speak with anyone else. Like, always just goes to me, like, when you're in a long-term relationship and like you guys are sitting up in bed at night, just like you're showing him the TikToks you found. You guys are laughing, and that's like your new vocal stim for the next week, or like, and or like inside jokes that the two of you have that no one else gets. Like, once the relationship's over, that shit all dies with the relationship. And so it's like huge bits of yourself, huge parts of your vernacular, huge parts of the things that you love and what you're into, like all of it has to die too. And I do feel like when you break up with someone, especially if you like are in a really intense relationship or something, it feels like, you have to become a new person in some way. And I just thought that that was such a beautiful take on that, because it does like, even though it's kind of like it's written from the, if you are the person that got cheated on, you don't want to hear the perspective of the person they cheated on you with at all. You sit there and go, no, fuck you. But like, I feel like this is a beautiful way of humanizing that person, because they are a human too, and they did fall in love, and that person in this particular situation is deciding to leave them. So now there's like two broken women. The person that you cheated on and the person that you cheated with. And they're both equally valid in being sad, but society will tell you that the girl that was also a cheater is not allowed to be sad, but she is. And this is like the lyrics of that. And I just thought that was so interesting.
Yeah. I do too. Like, I think as much as I hate cheating and everything, that's very much, a perspective that you don't always think about, but there is a broken heart on the other side too.
Yeah.
So
it's and damn well I would ruin myself a million times. That's like the last line of the chorus, or the last line of the song. Yeah. So, a lot of feelings.
It's
so
a
good.
really good song.
What's
well,
your
next on my list was Lavender Haze, and I had mentioned earlier, like, as soon as this song started on Midnights, I was like, ooh, I like this. I mostly wrote it down because I liked the music and the melody. Although I do really like the line, all they keep asking me is if I'm gonna be your bride. The only kind of girl they see is a one night or a wife. I find it dizzying. They're bringing up my history, but you aren't even listening.
Yeah.
And that line really was like, it's true. Like, it's like either you're a one night stand or you're dating someone and it's supposed to go somewhere. Like, you can't, dating just for fun isn't a thing, especially when it comes to, her life and how in the tabloids it is. And, there isn't really But even just in regular life, like I feel like if you're dating for too long, people are like, okay, so what's going on? Like, I feel like there isn't really just dating for fun very often anymore.
I mean, I love that line of one night or a wife. Ugh.
Yeah.
Like those are the only two valid options for women. And it's like, and I think that this song kind of feels like a song where you're in a long-term relationship with somebody. And I know that, dude, I've been with my partner again, like I said, on and off. Well, on and off sounds stupid. We've been orbiting each other for 8 years. Like literally all I ever hear now, because I'm about to turn 30, is, are you guys getting married? Are you guys having kids soon? Mostly I get kids. I actually don't get asked if we're getting married that often. Or are you guys getting engaged? It's usually when you guys having kids.
Yeah.
Which, what the fuck, dude? Huh?
Now that Leo and
you asking me if we're fucking?
Yeah.
Hey, so you guys having a lot of sex right now? Unprotected?
Now that
Dude,
Leo and I
ew.
live together, we don't really get the whole marriage thing too often, but
It almost feels like marriage is kind of it's not the priority for people anymore. It really is the kids one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe or not. Does that make me less of a woman if I don't? God damn. Yikes.
Yeah, that one really hit me too, because it's like, well, like, especially like, you said it reminds me of like a long-term relationship where we're very much in love. We're committed to each other. We're partners for the rest of our life. Like, there's not even a word for it. Like, it's either boyfriend, fiance, or husband, wife,
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess partner, but like I used to call like you my partner when we were talking about business stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's like there's this weird, like, there's not really
I know we need to come up with a new name for things, because like so many couples are not getting married now that like there just needs to be a new word.
Yeah. But you're right. Like, most people just aren't getting married anymore, which I know was a big thing in like the church and everything. They're like, oh, all these people are living together out of wedlock.
Yeah. My sister's ex-husband's family thought I was a harlot because David and I lived together out of wedlock. And when she told me that, I was like, in the year 2025? What the?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Whoa. But like because they were acting weird around me at a party. And I was like, I asked my sister after, I was like, did I do something? Do I look weird? And she was like, oh no, they just, they think it's weird that you and David live together and you're not married. And I went, oh.
It's so crazy to think that that's still a thing. But literally when Leo and I moved in together, one of my aunts was like, so, yay, I'm so excited you guys are moving in together. But you know what you can't do until you're married.
Oh, girl. I'd have been like, girl, I'm 35. You think I've never had sex before? That's crazy. What
I just went, uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, that's cute. But it's like, wow, that is so cute. Oh my God.
So
ridiculous.
But anyway, that was the last one on my list.
The last one on my list is Lover. I think that song is so cute. I've loved that song since it came out. Oh, Apple Music was like, you like it? You want to leave a review? No. I never do. But I love this song. I think it's so sweet. And I've always thought that way. Like, even when it first came out, I was like, whoa, this song's great. I remember when Lover came out, there were some songs I didn't love. Like, I'm not a fan of Me at all. I gotta be honest with you. I hate that song so much.
I also just really do not like If I Were the Man, I'd Be the Man. That was one of those songs earlier. I think maybe that's when I had my Swiss cheese brain. I was going to say that, like, there's songs where I think it's a great idea. I think you needed somebody to help you edit it. I mean,
yeah, I think that the idea was interesting. And And some of the lyrics are good. I mean, like, again, like Lover is an interesting album because I love Death by a Thousand Cuts. I love Cruel Summer. Afterglow is beautiful.
Yeah.
Paper Rings, Cornelia Street. Like, majority of the album I really like. There were certain, specifically Me, I think was the first single on the album or something like that. Ooh.
Yeah.
And then You Need to Calm Down, which I was kind of like also not into. But dude, specifically, like when David heard Me, he was like, this is probably the worst song I've ever heard in my entire life. And so to have this juxtaposition of really great written songs and then also Me, which is just so funny. Me, ooh, 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 ooh. I don't know if you watched the Miss Americana documentary, but to watch her talk about the song and bring Brendan Urie in and then write like the music video treatment like on the spot, I was like, oh. But it's again,
I haven't,
you know what?
but I almost need to go watch it. Just like your reaction made me want to go watch it.
Dude, it's a cringe fest, I'll tell you what. And you know what's funny? Like that, and that's what I mean. You can, like, I hate that song, but that doesn't mean I hate Taylor Swift. I'm not like, you're a terrible fucking person, and I'm gonna make up a crazy reason to hate you. That song is not for me, dog, and I don't think it's for most people. I don't think a lot of people love it, but that's okay because the rest of the album is really cool. What I love about Lover, like, she opens it up with like, and she talks about this. I don't remember where. It might have been in some interview or something. I don't remember. But she was just talking about like, we could leave the Christmas lights up till January. I know people were like, what the fuck most people do? And she was like, it just doesn't sing as well as we could leave the Christmas lights up till April. Like, I don't know, January. Sometimes when you're a songwriter, you make a word choice because the syllables fit better. Then I understand. But for like, we could leave the Christmas lights up till January. It's such an inconsequential thing. It's like, whatever, leave the Christmas lights up. It's whatever. It's just like painting this picture of, we're, cleaning up after a party and it's just the two of us. This is our place. We make the rules. Have I known you 20 seconds or 20 years? I love the chorus of, can I go where you go? Can we always be this close forever and ever? Take me out or take me home. You're my lover. Oh. Yeah. And then it goes into the same thing. We could let our friends crash in the living room. This is our place. We make the call. My thing for my biggest part of the song that I love so much is, again, the bridge. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand? With every guitar string scar on my hand, I take this magnetic force of a man to be my lover. My heart's been borrowed and yours has been blue. All's well that ends well to end up with you. Swear to be overdramatic and true to my lover. I just think that that's so sweet. I don't know.
It's such a sweet song.
It's so sweet. And I just like, it's like the perfect wedding song. It really is. You can just do like a quick little like sway to it. I think it's such a beautiful sentiment of just being like, this is my person. It's just, this is my person, the song.
She's really good at writing sweet love songs. Like 3 of the songs that we mentioned on our list were like pure love songs.
Yeah. And that's what's so funny about Life of a Showgirl. There's a ton of love songs on there and I'm like, but you know what? If you just look at the fate of Ophelia and Opalite just as songs and not at the discourse surrounding both of those songs, it is they're cute. I think Opalite is cute. Wishlist, I also think is very cute.
Yeah.
Got a couple kids, got the whole block looking like you. And it's like the first time, because she spent so much time talking about like, I don't want to be a wife. But like when you, and I'm not saying that this is any trad wife mentality. I think getting married should not be considered like, oh, if you want to get married, you're a trad wife. That's crazy.
Yeah.
She's 37 almost? How is she a trad wife? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Those trad wives get married at like 18 or
Well, we have talked about Taylor Swift for hours now.
Damn. That's probably going to be our longest podcast.
But
true.
I did enjoy getting to dive into some of her albums that I haven't been able to listen to or just haven't listened to yet.
Yeah, same.
It was a good month listening to some of her music. So these next 2 episodes are going to be a little different. We're coming up on the end of the year. So next month we're going to do some of our favorite Christmas songs by female artists.
Ooh.
Or holiday songs, Christmas/holiday songs, I guess we could make it. And then after that, we're going to do our top songs that came out this year by women artists. So I'm very excited for those. It's going to be a little bit of a different podcast, but I think it's going to be fun. I'm excited. So thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next month to get in the holiday spirit. Woo woo.
Yeah.
Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
If you're looking for fun events, awesome music, and enjoyable podcasts, then look no further. The Basebone Entertainment family has you covered. With so many talented people in our community, it was only right that we not only bring you events, but all sorts of awesome entertainment. Follow Basebone on social media or join our Discord community to stay updated and engaged in everything. That is at Baseblown on social media and discord.gg/Baseblown for our Discord. Basebone Entertainment, bringing you more than just bass in your face.